Hey there everyone, Jamie here from Be to Stay and welcome to this live stream. Welcome to this video if you're watching on YouTube where this is going to be posted after. Or welcome to the recording if you're watching this inside our community here as well. Let me just share my screen so you can see. So there we go. So today I'm going to be showing you a live build of this. So I'm going to be showing you how you can build your own AI personal assistant, effectively how you can create an AI agent to run your life. Now, I'm only going to have enough time today to show you how to build in a couple of tasks here with our own AI assistant here. But again, I'm going to show you how you can build on top of this as well. So let me quickly show you how this particular AI assistant works and what we're going to be building. And then once I've done this, we're actually going to just build this from scratch. So we're going to go node by node. I'm going to explain what each of these nodes do, what all of this is that you can see on screen here. And then you can just follow along as I build this so you can see exactly how to do this for yourself. Now, if you are watching this on YouTube as a recording or as a recording inside the community here, firstly on YouTube, if you're not a member of our Beta State community, which is this community here, you'll find a link below this video to come and join, where we host lots of these events moving forward, but we also have lots of other stuff in here as well. Lots of great chats going on, lots of different AI agent workflows within the community here. You can watch videos and download and use as well. So that's the first thing. If you're watching a recording of this video, either in the community or via another page, again, come and join this community. You'll see a link there. Also, come and check out my YouTube channel as well, which is where this will be posted. Here, you will see a ton of other workflow builds that are probably a little bit more advanced than what I'm going to show you today. Today's build is going to be completely focused on creating this beginner workflow, but it's going to be powerful. It's going to allow you to do a lot, and it's going to show you the power of having your own AI assistant or AI agent. So if this is completely brand new to you, so you've only just been looking into AI agents, maybe you've seen bits and pieces around, but you've never really dove in there and built anything, or it all looks a little bit too complex, which this may look overwhelming right now. I'm here to tell you it's not, and I'm going to show you how this is very easily created, that you can replicate what you see on screen. Like I say, I'm going to do a build along, so we are going to start from nothing, so you can literally go node by node with me, and I'll explain it all as we go through. Now, first things first, what does this agent actually do? What have I built here, and what are you going to be able to build with this build along? So this is a PA, a personal assistant. So you may own a business right now. You may even actually hire a PA within your business. We've got an amazing one in our business. But with the power of AI and AI agents can now tackle a lot of certainly simple tasks that a personal assistant would have had to have tackled for you in the past few years. AI agents, when used in the correct way, as I'm going to show you today, can do things like book calendar meetings for you, update calendar meetings just from, chatting to them, or even check your email, find emails, alert you to emails you should know about. They're really, really powerful. And that's what we're going to be building today on this session. So let me show you this personal assistant or this AI agent assistant in action. So this is what it looks like underneath, and this is what we're going to be building. But here's what it looks like on top. So I've got this AI assistant built into my Slack. This is where I'm going to chat to my AI assistant. This is where I converse with the AI assistant, and I ask them to do things for me. Now, you may be a user of Discord, you may be a Telegram user, you may even just use WhatsApp. Whatever tool you use, you're going to be able to pull your assistant, what you're going to build today, into the tool you use. So again, you might not be a Slack user. I know not everybody's a Slack user. This is what I use as a tool to run my business. But if you run your business on Discord, wherever, you can build the same thing, but you can pull your AI assistant into any platform. And I'll show you how you go about that as we build this out. So here's what this AI assistant can do. So right now, this AI assistant has access to my calendar and has access to my email. So I can have it look things up. I can have it book meetings, all of that stuff. So if I just come in here right now, and again, I'll open my calendar here so you can see it now. So here's my calendar. So we're on Tuesday, the 9th of September today. So for example, if I pull open Slack here and I say, hey, can you add a meeting to my calendar for, I don't know, tomorrow at 4 p.m. for a meeting with David for, I don't know, let's go random, 35 minutes. And then I send that off to my AI assistant. I'll give it a couple of moments. Usually this is really, really quick. There we go. It's already done. So if I now open my calendar here, there we go. There's my meeting at 4 till 4:35, meeting with David, booked. So that meeting has already been pushed into my calendar. So that's the first thing, which is really cool. So you can have your own AI assistant who can book meetings for you. So you've got a dentist appointment, any other appointments, whatever you've got, you just need to type a chat in. Hey, can you do this for me? And it will basically book that for you. So if I come in here now and go, what meetings have I got for the rest of the week? What my AI assistant will hopefully do here is it's going to jump into my calendar, grab all the meetings for me, and just lay them out. There we go. So I can see exactly what I've got on for the rest of the week. So there's my calendar. So we've got a meeting with David 4 till 4:35 p.m. That was the one that I've just actually done. We've got another one with him there at 11 a.m. Meeting with the team, lunch at Bruciano's. I've got a football match on Saturday. All of this is laid out for me. So I can, again, ask my assistant at any time, what have I got on tomorrow? What have I got on next week? So it saves me a bunch of time going through my calendar trying to look at this stuff. I can also take it a step further. So that meeting we just booked with David, let's see. They might get confused here, so we will see. So I've got 2 meetings with David tomorrow, and I'm going to delete one because that wouldn't usually happen. So let me delete the one I had already in, just so I can demo this next thing here. And I'm going to go, I have a meeting with David at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Could you update the time and make this meeting 5 p.m. Same length of meeting. So now my AI assistant's going to go in. It's going to change the meeting that I've just set up with me and David from 4 to 5 p.m. I deleted that other one just because I think it had got confused because there was 2 exactly the same events here. But there we go. That meeting's been updated. Go back to my calendar. There we are. It's been moved to 5 till 5:35 now. So it's full calendar management. Now, there's a ton you can do on top of this. Again, it's coming up with its own titles. It's coming up with descriptions of meetings where needed. And I'm going to show you how to build all of this in just a second. So that's the first thing my AI assistant can do. The second thing is it's also got access to my email. So if I say, go to my AI assistant now, could you summarize or give me a list of emails I have received today that are currently unread, and figure out which may be the highest priority. Now, I'll open my email inbox in a minute, but let's see what it comes up with here. So like I say, so we've got access. This AI assistant can manage my calendar just by chatting, as you can see here. And then now I'm going to just get some details from my email. So I want to understand what emails I've got in my inbox. And there's a few different ways you can take email. You can build your AI assistant to actually send emails for you. I'm not going to show you that on this particular video. There we go. I've got a massive list here of unread emails from today. So I can see everything in there. Now, what's cool about this is I've got a list of, so I've got currently 16 unread emails that have come in today, I think. Yeah, so these have come in from today. But here, the highest priority emails appear to be the reminder from Beta State about the live event on building an AI personal assistant, as it's happening soon. It's happening right now. So it's picked that out. That must have just come. Alerts from a cloud platform about platform errors. We've got an email from Andrew Gazdecki about how to go from just listed to serious buyer conversations, business and deal alerts. Now, it's giving me highest priority emails in sort of order there. And again, this event is my highest priority right now. So it's done a really good job at figuring that out. So it's got access to all of that. I can have it unread, read these emails. I can have it delete emails, move and add labels to these emails. It basically has full access to not just that, but again, just for proof here is my email inbox. And as you can see, I may have actually, did I open that email? Oh, there's the reminder from the beta state. So it's missed out these two, which is interesting. And it immediately said, this is your highest priority. These are obviously two newsletters I received, not high priority for me to check now. But this one, where I'm hosting this actual event, is obviously very, very high priority. So that's basically what this assistant does. And it gives you the opportunity to, again, get help, save hours and hours every single week, every single month on managing your calendar, also getting information from emails. You can go one step further with emails as well, where I can get specific information from emails. And in fact, I will demo this as well, because I think this is really cool. So as part of my emails here, you're going to see these Flipper alerts. Now, I think many watching this may know what Flipper is, but basically I have alerts set up on Flipper myself for sites that I may be interested in acquiring. Now, I get these alerts every single day, and I must get like 3-4 different alert emails every day from Flipper, and I never really open them all unless I've just got a spare bit of time and I'm in my inbox. But I can actually use my AI assistant in this case to go and get the information out of those emails. So if I say, could you find all the Flipper emails from today that are currently unopened? Here we go, unopened. I want you to, and I'll show you these emails afterwards as well. I want you to summarize all of the site deals available currently inside these emails for me. Leave out opportunities that, and I'll explain this part in a second, to leave out opportunities that are Amazon related. So I have these emails that come through, and basically these Flipper emails are monitoring like e-com opportunities that I may be interested in acquiring. And as part of these e-com opportunities, I quite often get Amazon FBA listings in there, but I'm not interested in Amazon FBA businesses at the minute. So I'm basically asking my AI assistant to go and read those emails for me, because I don't have time, and find what's inside these emails and what I might be interested in that's not Amazon related. And there we go. I found unread emails in Flipper from today. Here's the site details available inside these emails, excluding Amazon opportunities. So we've got this one here, may be interested. We've got a confidential one, so I'd have to go and check that out. A Shopify store, though, that I may be interested in. We've got a SaaS-based platform here, n8n. Sizzler, which is a woman's fashion store. We've got an e-com store here. And then we've got a streetwear dropship store. And then there's various new deals with options for negotiation price. This one here. So again, there is multiple opportunities in those emails. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to go and find some of these emails. And we'll just check this out. So if I just open this one. So we can see there's a few emails in here. And some of these must be Amazon, and that's why it's left them out. It hasn't pulled this one in. Is that, I can't tell. No, I don't think that one's Amazon. So it has missed a couple here, but it's gone in there and it's found opportunities that I'm interested in, potentially. And again, they're all e-com related opportunities, and I've not had to read any of those emails. So that's how powerful this particular AI assistant can be. So you can imagine what you can do with that within your own business or your own personal life. I'm going to now show you how to build this from scratch. I'm hoping I can do this within 60 minutes. That's my target on this live stream, just to show you that, you know, within an hour of your time, and even quicker with me doing the work for you first, you can get something like this set up for yourself that can save you hours and hours of time and be really, really valuable to you as a business owner or as someone who is very, very busy. This isn't just a business personal AI assistant. You could use this for your own personal appointments as well in your personal life. So again, perfect opportunity to build something that's really valuable with AI. Now, we're going to start from scratch. Now, what I want to point out first is I am building this in a platform called n8n. Okay, now don't worry if you've got no idea what n8n is. I'm going to be showing you how it all works and building it from scratch. Now, you will see in the chat box, if you're on live with me right now, a link to go and sign up for n8n. You can sign up for a free trial, which I think is like a 2-week trial at the time of hosting the stream. And again, that's going to give you more than enough time to test it out, use it, to see if you would use it moving forward. However, even if you do go onto the paid account of n8n, it works out at around $20 to $25 a month, or £24 a month, I think, on a monthly basis. Now, imagine that as a cost saving. If you hire a personal assistant to manage your calendar and manage your emails and all of that, you will pay way more than $24, $25 a month for that. And that's just one workflow. Within n8n, I'm going to show you how to build this first workflow, this AI assistant, but you can then build as many workflows as you want in here. You can build out tons of stuff. Again, if you check out my YouTube channel, if you're on my YouTube channel, go and check out my other videos. I've got a ton of workflow builds using n8n on my channel that are way more advanced than this. So this is a beginner one, but it's going to get you started, going to get you building something good. So the first things first, you go into n8n, you sign up. Again, use our link if you want to sign up for a free account below this video on YouTube, or if you're watching this anywhere else, there'll be a link to go and sign up for your own n8n account. Once you're inside here, you're just going to click on create workflow, and that's going to bring you through to this screen. So I've got my workflow 3 up here. I'm just going to change this, and we'll just call this AI assistant build, just so we know what that is. So the first thing you should do is just change the name of your workflow. So if you start building and testing out lots of different workflows in here, you don't forget what's what. Now, what is also important, I'm going to tell you this now, but this is something you would do at the end. This particular workflow, I will give you this entire workflow as a JSON file. So you actually don't need to build all of these nodes. If you're watching this after my live stream, if you go and look in the comments and come through to our community here, I'm going to post this under workflow drops. So I'll post it in here. So you'll see it probably at the top here or somewhere in here. Just search. And what I'll do is I'll post this entire thing. So what you're then going to get is you'll have a .json file. And then if you log into your n8n account just like this, instead of you having to build all the nodes yourself, you're going to be able to just come up here, click these 3 dots, and then import from file, click this button here, and it will allow you to select the JSON file you download from our community, and it will immediately be this. Now, it will have a lot of red. There'll be a lot of red errors because you've got to connect everything, but it's going to save you a bit of time. You're not going to have to come in here and build out each one of these nodes. In this case, though, I am going to build it out node for node so I can explain how n8n works as we go along. So what have we got here now? So we have our initial screen, our blank canvas. Now, the first thing I want to point out here is every single workflow you build in n8n, in this case, has to start from a trigger. So if without a trigger, nothing works. And a trigger can be something, it can be a click, it could be an app event, it could be a schedule. So this could be a trigger that runs every hour, every minute. It could be a webhook call. It could be a form submission. So n8n allows you to build web forms, so you can trigger workflows from web forms. Think about lead generation. If someone comes and fills in one of these web forms on your website, you can then trigger an automation. You can execute it from another workflow. So if you build multiple agents that trigger each other. Now that's advanced. I'm not going to go into all that today. I'm just explaining what some of these are. You can then use the chat message, and then there's other bits and pieces you can do as well and dig even further. In this case, so if we look at our workflow here, I am triggering this workflow to work, or this AI agent. I'm triggering it from this Slack channel. So that's the trigger here, the Slack trigger. Now, I'm going to show you how to add the Slack on at the end, but I'm just going to show you how to initially get started here. So inside of n8n, there is this on chat message. So I'm just going to click this, and then you just click outside this box to close this down. So you don't need to do anything on that. That's going to pull this trigger in here. So n8n, and this is a really cool feature of theirs, have their own built-in chat. So if I click on open chat here, or you can click it down at the bottom here, we've got chat message here. So if you're building out a workflow where you are going to converse with an AI agent or an LLM, just like we're doing here, because we're effectively sending Slack messages into this AI assistant, then you can use the n8n, and I recommend this, their built-in chat, because you can test way quicker than having to go and connect Slack or having to go and connect Discord or Telegram. Build it all with this trigger first. And then once you've got your entire workflow working, you can then come in and connect Slack. Okay. Now this, again, if you're brand new to this, it will all become clear as we build out here how all of this fits together and what a workflow is and what does this trigger do when you chat and things like that. It'll all become clear. But I always build out my workflows that involve me chatting to them with the built-in n8n chat here, this trigger, because it's just easier. I can just open this chat and I can chat down here. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to do. So we are going to trigger this from the built-in n8n chat first. And we'll add Slack later. So the first thing we are going to need to do is we're going to need to connect our AI agent to this node. So these are called nodes, and every node has options at the top here. So you can again execute the node by clicking the play button. You can deactivate it, and you can also delete it. So if I click the delete button, I won't just now, it will delete it from our canvas. And then you've got this plus icon. This is what happens next. When a chat comes in, what's the next thing? So I'm just going to click that, and it's going to open up our drawer on this side. Now I want to connect into an AI agent at this stage. However, if you are connecting other things, you can connect anything in here. If you look at the search nodes at the top and you type anything, you can see, I mean, just type in G, all the different things you can connect in here. I mean, they literally have pre-built in also everything. You can run code, everything. Again, I'm going way back here to beginner steps. I don't want to go too complex, but if you want to start having a play around in here, you can connect anything along the route or along the flow, as we call it. So when clicking on here, we're now going to add our first node. Now our node is an AI agent. We want to chat to an AI bot or an AI agent, an LLM, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to click on AI, and there's lots of options you can do here. You can connect an AI agent directly with OpenAI or Google Gemini or Anthropic. I'm actually going to choose the AI agent option at the top here, because what we get from here is we get this agent that we can then configure exactly how we want. And this AI agent here, once we've connected a few things, is going to be able to use tools that we provide access to. We can give it memory. We can do way more with this particular AI agent here, and we can connect any chat model you want to it. So this is our AI agent. I'm going to open it up. So anytime you click on a node, these are the screens you're going to see. And again, this might be sometimes overwhelming when you first see this. Input, output, all sounds technical, but it really isn't what we're building here. And you'll see most of the time, it's really simple to build these things out. So I'm just going to rename it. You don't need to rename this, but I have a habit of making sure that when I add any new nodes to my flow here, I rename them. Otherwise, they end up just naming that. If you use, say, two of the same node, they name themselves the same and put like number one at the end, number two, and then you forget what that particular node's doing. So I am just renaming it. You don't have to, but I'm calling it an AI assistant. Now, the first thing we need to do, this AI assistant node here. So when we chat, if I was to chat now and I won't, nothing will happen because this is empty. Now, I want you to imagine this AI agent is a car. And for a car to work, you've got to give it some petrol. It has to have juice. It has to have petrol or gas if you're in the US. And that petrol or gas is a chat model. It needs a model to work, a model to power it, a brain, if you will. So that's what we have down here. So we have this option here, chat model. And as you see, it's got a red star next to it. I will zoom in a little bit. It's got a red star next to it because this is required. Nothing can work in here until that chat model has been connected. That's why it's red. So, and again, if you hover here, there you go. It tells you what the issue is. No node connected to required input chat model. So I am now going to connect a chat model. So by clicking on that plus there, you can do one of two things. In fact, you can do many things, but I'm going to talk to you about one of two things. So the first thing is you can power this AI agent by any LLM on the planet. So if you want to power it with OpenAI, so ChatGPT, or you want to power it with Anthropic or Google Gemini, you've got DeepSeek, all of these you can do. So if I say we're just going to connect this to OpenAI, I can click the OpenAI chat model and it's automatically connected that model. So now this AI agent is using OpenAI GPT 4.1 mini. That's basically what this AI agent is using to work, to power it. Now, when you add a node, just like I've done there, so I've added this OpenAI chat model, it's not just going to auto connect to ChatGPT because you'll have nothing set up in your n8n account. As you can see here, credential to connect with, I've got my OpenAI account. You will need to connect that first. So if I drop this down, you can see I've already configured mine. You will have this create new credential. So you click on create new credential and it's then going to ask you for information. Now you are going to need an API key from wherever you are connecting a chat model. So if I'm using OpenAI here, I'm going to have to go and set up an OpenAI account, an API account, and get an API key that's going to be that I will paste in here, and then it will connect to my OpenAI account. And then I can use any chat model on OpenAI in this node. Now, I'm not going to go through configuring credentials on this particular stream because n8n do an incredible job of showing you how to do this. So at any time you need to set up a credential, just like I'm doing here as an example with OpenAI, you've got this option here, Open Docs. If you click on that, it will take you through to the n8n docs, and it will basically walk you through how to do this. So as you can see, using an API key, to configure this credential, you need an API key. So it walks you through, log in there, open your API key page there, create a new secret key, copy your key, and paste it into n8n there, click save. That is it, simple. Once you've got this configured correctly as well, as soon as you click save, it will come up green saying connected. So you know you've done it correctly. But that's how easy that is. And once you've done it, the credential will appear here as I've already got one, and it will auto connect. And from this list, you can choose any model from OpenAI you want. So I can use any model. It auto selects GPT 4.1 mini, but if you want to use a different OpenAI model, then feel free. If you want to test different ones, you can just select from the list. It all runs through your API key. The cool thing about n8n is it takes care of all the technical stuff. So you don't have to figure any API calls out, none of that. It's all managed via n8n. You just need to connect to your account. So that's basically what you need to do first. Now, I'm going to give you another tip here. I don't use direct models like OpenAPI nodes like this here. You can do, and lots of people do, and there's nothing wrong with doing it this way. It's correct. But I like to use a service called OpenRouter. And this is it here. So openrouter.ai, you'll need to come and sign up for a free OpenRouter account. And then you need to add credits into the account, just like you would do with OpenAI. And then what OpenRouter does, it will provide you an API key like OpenAI, but this opens you up to being able to use any LLM model on the planet. You're not just restricted to using OpenAI and ChatGPT. You can use Claude, Sonnet. You can use Gemini 2.5 Pro. You can use any. It has them all within here. There are 500 models plus inside of OpenRouter, and you can connect to any one of them, again, using the nodes. Now, I'll show you this now. So if I go back here, so as I mentioned before, you've got options up here. I want to delete this now. So clicking the delete button, there we go. Now, when I add the chat model this time, rather than go and find OpenAI, I'm just going to find OpenRouter. There we go, OpenRouter chat model. I can click that. I've already got my credential in here. As I've mentioned, it works the same way as the OpenAI one. So again, you'll need to create a new credential, click on Open Docs, and it will walk you through how to do it with OpenRouter. Again, these things will take you seconds to do. These are not hard things to do. Once you've got your API key in there, again, I've already got one already. I've already set it up here. That's my credential. It works, and you can select any model you want. So I've got GPT 4.1 mini auto selected, but there we go. Rather than just OpenAI, as you can see, we've got DeepSeek in here. I can connect to Google Gemini. I can connect to Meta Llama. Again, Microsoft, Mistral, everything's in there, or everything you can think of. So you then have options to switch models. I'm going a bit more advanced here, I know, but this is a big tip, and it'll help you moving forward. Because if you build out workflows that you want content creating, for example, there are some better models than others at content creating, and new models get released that are better than other models across all the different LLM companies. So by using the OpenRouter model here, what you effectively get is you get the option to basically switch to other models whenever you need it. So that's basically OpenRouter. Now, the that's now working. So this AI assistant will chat to me. So if I open the chat, which is our trigger, and I just go, hello, you will see in the chat down here, it's all worked. Hello, how can I assist you today? So this is connected. This is working. I have an AI agent now set up that's connected to OpenRouter. It's being powered by OpenRouter or by GPT 4.1 Mini, and it's ready to go. Now, this is just a chat GPT, if you will, right now. I'm just chatting to it and it'll just chat to me. There's nothing this AI agent can do for me yet because I've not connected anything. And that's what we're going to do next. So we're now going to move on to the actual tools and connecting tools to this AI assistant. So on this button down here, we've got tool, as you can see. Clicking on, just let me move this chat. Clicking on this plus button here is going to open the drawer again. And now you can give this AI assistant access to tools. So again, if you just type anything in here, you'll see all these different tools you can attach. Again, there's almost anything you can think of or use inside of here. Now, we're, of course, building an assistant to manage our calendar and Gmail. So I'm just going to type calendar here. And again, there we go, Google Calendar. So I want to give my AI agent access to the Google Calendar tool, and this is going to allow me to give it access to my calendar. Now, once you add it, you're going to see a screen pop up just like this. So this is the Google Calendar node. Now, there's a few things to look at here, and I'll zoom out just so you can see. It gets added down here, and you can move it. So we've got a red button here right now because we've got a few things to configure. So double-click that and open this back up. So the first thing you're going to need to do is credentials. Back to those credentials again. So with OpenAI and OpenRouter, I showed you it's the same thing. I've already connected my calendar, but you will need to connect yours. So you go create new credential, and then you are going to need to sign in with Google. So wherever your calendar is, you just connect your Google account. Once you've connected that account and give it the necessary permissions, let me just, I don't want to close that, and give it the necessary permissions, it will have access to your calendar, okay? So what you'll then have is tool description. Always leave that automatic unless you're doing something custom. Again, a bit more advanced. We're then going to have a look at operation. So when you've connected the credential to your calendar, you can do all of these things within this node. So you can create an event in the calendar. You can delete an event, retrieve many events, update an event, or a custom API call. So, of course, the first thing we want to do is give our AI agent access and the ability to create in our calendar, so to create meetings. So I'm going to select create, which was auto selected. And then you need to choose the calendar from your list. So mine is an AI assistant calendar. Now, by default, it will have a start and end date here. So what this means is if I was to tell an AI agent now to go and create an event in my calendar, I am telling it a start and an end time. But the problem is that start and end time is now, right now, this minute, and the end time is 1 hour from now. But if I want my assistant to go and create a calendar event in like 2 days, then or a different time, this is going to change. So here's what we need to do. We leave this decision up to the AI agent. And to do that, it's really simple. So you click this AI icon style thing here, these stars, and this is basically going to tell the model, so the AI agent, you define this, defined automatically by the model. So you just click that on both because the model is going to, or the agent is going to figure out what the start and end time should be. We're telling the agent to do that. Now you can go further with this. So if you do find the agent is having a problem with any of these defined elements, so if an agent was struggling to figure out what the start time of your meetings is going to be, which is highly unlikely because you're going to specify it, then you can add a description here just to tell the agent, if I hover there, explain to the LLM how it should generate this value. So if it's something a little bit more complex that you're asking an LLM or your agent to actually figure out itself, you might want to add a little description, short description, just to say, this is what I'm looking for. And then it knows, you're telling it, this is what, if you are advising an actual PA on what you want to do, that's how you would do it for them. You're prompting them. Now, in this case, we're not really going to need that. It's going to know what the start and end time is. Now, the other two fields you're going to need here to do what I've been doing is I want it to also create additional fields. If I ask this AI agent now to create an event in my calendar, it's not going to know to enter a title or a description or none of that. We have to show it to do that. So we do that by the additional fields. So I'm going to click on add fields. Now there's lots of different fields you can give it access to. So if you want to give it access to all of these, you can do. I'm just going to give it access to summary. So that's the title. Again, I am just going to say, I want you to figure out what that would be based off of my message. And then I'm also going to give it a description as well. And I'm going to say, figure that out as well. So I want the AI agent to figure out the start and end time from what I ask. And then also the summary is the title, the event title. I want you to figure the title of the event and description based off of what I'm asking for. And that's it. That node is configured. Now, what I like to do here is I am just going to rename it. In fact, no, I won't. That naming's okay. So we've now got this configured. So this AI agent is likely going to be able to create an event right now if I ask it to via our chat. However, there is a problem right now that you'll find if you just do this. We have to give our AI agent some more instructions. It will do these things. It will use the tool. Now, in fact, let me demo this so you can see what I mean. So if I go add a dentist appointment to my calendar for Friday at 9 a.m. for 20 minutes. Okay, so let's see what it comes up with. So we will see it's used the calendar there, as we can see. Your dentist appointment has been added to your calendar Friday at 9 a.m. lasting 20 minutes. If you need any other assistance, feel free to ask. Now, let me open my calendar. Not that one. That's my email. Let me open my calendar. So I'm looking 9 a.m. Friday. There is no dentist appointment there. It's not added it. Now, the problem, okay, is, and I can see over here, it's got the wrong inputs. It's inputting it. So it's got the times right, 9 till 9:20. So it's figured the day out. It's figured the descriptions, a 20-minute dentist appointment. It's got the summary of the title as dentist appointment. So it's figured that out, but it's done it for 2024. And I think this is based off of, again, there might be someone who would comment and tell me, but I think this is based off of the actual nodes within n8n or within the chat model you're using, that it's based off of 2024. So that's not going to work for me because this is 2025. I want this AI agent to know what the current day is when it's doing these things. And that's why that's not worked. And this is where just some additional instructions are going to be important. Now that comes in the form of a prompt. So, you know, when you work with AI, you have to prompt AI. That's what it's all about. So we can prompt this AI agent. So if I open this AI agent now, again, the input this AI agent's getting right now is the chat input. So that's the prompt right now. So the user message is everything that I type into this chat. So this is the user message. That's what's coming into here. That's what this green thing is here. Source for the prompt is the connected chat trigger node, of course. Now, what I want to do here is I want to add a system message. So if I click on add option here and click on system message, this is going to allow me to give this AI agent a full system prompt of who you are and what you need to do. And also, in the case that I've just shown there, what the current day is. So I am going to save a bit of time here. I'm going to head back over to my personal assistant here, and I'm going to grab my already written out system message. And again, you'll be able to get this when you download the workflow. And I'm going to head back here. Let me just do that. Head back here, and I'm going to paste this in here, and I'll show you what all of this is. So I've pasted my system message in here, and you want to switch it to, this is important, when you paste any content in here, if you want any values to be dynamic, and I've got a dynamic value in here, you need to switch it from fixed to expression. The same typing you can do. Now, just so you can see what I did there, I just clicked on this icon here, which opens this up full screen. Now, this is why this is important being full screen. We can now type out our prompt, system prompt in here for our agent, and then you can see what the actual the output is here, the result. So you can see what the agent is reading. So as you can see here, you are a helpful assistant that will help me manage my calendar and emails. Calendar management. I will ask you to create, manage, and delete appointments as they arise on Google Calendar tools you have access to. So I'm saying what the tools are. This is the important bit. Today's date is, and then it's this expression here. As you can see, you just type it out like that, and it's gone green because it's a dynamic value. It is this date time. So this, of course, changes all the time because it's whatever the time is right now and the date right now today. So whenever I chat to this AI agent now, it's going to see exactly what date and time is right now as I've chatted to it. And that's really important. That's going to bring it into the 2025 realm and current day. So when I say things like book me a meeting for next Friday, it knows when next Friday is based off of what date it is today. And then I've got all of this here. Now, I'm not going to read all of this out because I'm conscious of time, but I talk to it how to create a calendar event, which you've got access to this tool. If an attendee email is provided, please add it. Getting calendar events. If you need to retrieve calendar events, if I ask for them, here's the tool you use. Updating and editing calendar events. Here's the tools you use. Gmail management, which we've not set up yet. I'll ask you to manage my emails. Here's how you do it, the tools you use. Notes. If there's an error in the workflow, please let me know what the error is. So that's the prompt. Again, you can copy that full prompt. I'm going to come out. I'm going to click save. Now, if I reuse, so if you click on these two icons here, you can reuse the same message. So now if I do it and send that to our AI assistant, it's going to use this, but now it knows the proper date today. And now, hopefully this works. We go over to calendar and there we go. 9 a.m. dentist appointment. It's been booked for me 9 till 9:20 because I asked for a 20-minute slot. So it's figured out the title. It's figured out that it's what the start and end time is, and it's figured out the actual description as well. And that's all from just setting up that one node and that one tool. So we've now got our AI agent booking appointments for us. The next thing we need to do is we need to move on and talk about fetching calendar events. So once we've got the first part done here, we've already got the prompting. The next parts are going to be much quicker because you start getting used to how to do it. So again, we open up the tool. We're going to use the same tool, the Google Calendar tool. Now, because you've already set up your credentials at this point, you don't have to reset them up every time. It's just going to connect to the same calendar. Now, instead of a create, we want to give our agent the ability to get all events or get many events. So if I want to, as I showed before, ask an agent, what do I have on this week? I want it to be able to go and retrieve all the events and appointments from my calendar. So I click on Get Many. Again, we've got to connect it to a calendar. So let's connect it to the AI assistant calendar. Again, as far as the after and before, we want to allow the agent to define this. If I say to the agent, I want you to go and tell me what I've got on in 2 weeks' time, then we don't want that to be the date for the following 7 days. We need it to be able to define what that date would be. Again, remember, it does have access to the current date and time via our system prompt. So that's all we need to do here. I don't need to do anything else. So now if I just click save, we're just going to move this along so we can see it. Here's my get many events from Google Calendar. If I now open chat, I can say, what do we have on for the rest of the week on the calendar? So my agent can now, and it will use that. So it's used this tool instead of that tool because it's figured that out. It will have entered, again, it's entered the dates for the rest of the week, 9th to the 15th. So that's going till Sunday, midnight. And there we go. It's giving me a list of all the events. So I've got my meeting with David. We've got our dentist appointment we put in before. And what's really cool here, it's actually giving me links. So I can actually click on any of those links and go directly to it inside my calendar. So bang, we've got it working. It can now retrieve events for us whenever we want, and it can create events as well. So the next thing we want it to be able to do is update an event. So if I have a meeting in, or I've got my dentist appointment in at 9 o'clock on Friday, but I get a call and I've got to change it till 10, I don't want to have to go in and go and figure that out. We want our AI agent to do that. So again, open the tool. We go back to calendar and we same credentials. Instead of the create operation, we're now going to go to update. So we want it to be able to update an event. We're then going to select our calendar, AI assistant. And then this is important. So to update an event in a calendar, your AI agent needs an event ID. So every event or meeting or appointment in your calendar has an event ID. Now we can't type something in here. Anything you type in here is hard coded. So you're giving it this, you're giving that to the agent every single time. This, of course, is going to change because we've got so many events and so many things I might need changing on different events that we can't give it one event ID. we've got to have our AI agent figure this out itself. Now, the way it does this, so I'm just going to let the model define this parameter. The way it's going to do this is it's basically going to do two things. That's all we need to do here. And I do need to add extra fields as well. So if it's going to update times on events, you need to give it access to add a start and an end time as well. This is really important. If you don't add this, it won't be able to change the times. Again, if you want to give it access to edit all the other bits and pieces in here as well, then you need to click on every one of these individually and just define automatically by the model. If it doesn't have access to something you want it to update via these fields, it's not going to be able to update it. It needs that API call access. So I've given it ability to, again, update the times for me just for this example. So now that's done, I can click save. Now, what's going to happen when I ask this AI assistant to change the time of that dentist appointment we've just done, it's going to do two things. You're going to see two things. It's first going to go and find all the events, and it's going to find the appointment I'm asking for. And then once it's found the appointment I'm asking for, it's then going to come back in here, and it's then going to call this particular node because it'll grab the event ID itself from this call, and then it's going to use this tool and use the event ID to change that date. So let me see if this works. So can you change the dentist appointment I have on, was it Friday? I can't even remember when I did it. Yeah, Friday. So can you change the dentist appointment I have on Friday to 11 a.m. instead? Same length. Okay, so I'm not changing anything. Send that over. It's now going to use that. It has. It should use this. It has. We get this back. Your dentist appointment on Friday has been rescheduled to 11. So let's see if that's worked. Boom. There we go. So we now have our appointment at 11. So there we go. We've done it. So we have an AI agent right now in what, about 30, 40 minutes. I've probably been talking a little bit too long, that can now manage our calendar fully. Now, you can add other things as well. So if I open this up, I'm not going to do it in this video or this stream, but you can then add delete events. You can then add it to get one event, or you can do custom. I won't do the delete one because it's the same setup. If you want it to delete events for you as well, you're just going to add another tool on. You're then going to select delete. You're going to set it up in the same way as an update. It's going to go and find the event ID and just delete it from your calendar. So you can give it that access as well, which is obviously something you probably want to do as well. I'm not, because I want to move on and get onto the email stuff, because now I've shown you how to set all of this part up here. But we now have an AI agent we can chat to that basically can do this. So the next thing we want to do is we want to give it access to manage our emails as well. Now, this works in exactly the same way as we've seen here. So we go into tools and we're going to give it access to our email. So Gmail tool, consume the Gmail API. Click on that. Now, this is going to be exactly the same as the calendar setup. So you're then going to have to connect it to your Gmail. So I've already got it connected to mine, but you're going to click on create new credential. And again, you just sign into the Gmail you want it to manage. So let me close out of that. So I've already done that. You then can do lots of actions within Gmail with these tools. So you can have your AI agent do lots of different actions. So we can get it to send emails. I'm not going to show you how to do that on this. That's probably taking it a little bit of a step further. But once you've built this out yourself, following what I'm building here, I want you to go and test this stuff. Go and try getting your agent to do other different things. You can most certainly tell it to send emails for you. That would be easy to do. Can you go and send this email to such and such? Tell them that I'm going to be late for my meeting. All of that you can set up. There's lots of opportunity. So I'm not going to do send. I'm going to do get many. So I first want it to be able to access my email and get my emails for me. So the demo I did earlier in Slack, where I was asking for information on emails and I was asking for summaries of what emails are in my inbox. To do that, you need to have the get many operation. So connect your Gmail, click on get many, and then that's it. I don't really change anything else. You could, if you want to, again, there is a limit of 50, so it will only pull 50 max emails at a time. So if your email inbox is overflowing with thousands of emails or hundreds a day, you might want to lift that limit a little bit so it can pull more data for you. That's fine. You just change those numbers. Just bear in mind that the higher things like this go, the longer it's going to take to do that job. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it as a 50 right now. So rather than get many messages in Gmail, because I don't like that title, I'm just going to see retrieve emails. I'm just going to rename that node to retrieving emails for me. So I now have that node. Now that should be ready to go because I've already got my system prompt from before. So we've got explanations of what it should do for calendar events. I've also got the Gmail email management. I might ask you to manage my emails. Please use the Gmail tool you have access to. I've also stated, unless stated, leave emails unread if they're currently unread. Also, do not delete an email unless I explicitly tell you to. Now, the likelihood of that happening is low because of the way that these API calls work. For it to delete an email, you've got to actually set up the delete node. But I just do it just in case. I mean, there's no harm in that. So retrieve emails, we've got it. So what I can do now in the chat is say, which emails did I receive today that are currently unread? So this should work. And we will have Gmail connected. So again, it's going straight to that because it knows what I'm asking for. It can figure that out. And that's the power of AI agents. This isn't just the same flow happening. I'm typing just normal language and it's understanding what I'm asking for. Again, I'm getting the emails here. It's pulling them all in on this response. Look, this response is all the emails that it's pulling through that are currently unread today. So there we go. We're getting our emails through that are all unread in my inbox today. I won't jump back in my inbox because we've seen all these. But again, I can see what emails, it's working. I've now got it retrieving emails for me. Now, I want to show you a couple of other things from the email side of things here before we move into connecting Slack, which is the final piece. And I also want to talk about memory as well. So as far as what we're going here now is we've got retrieving emails. What I want to do now is I'm just going to show you. If I wanted Gmail, or I should say my AI agent, to maybe read my emails for me. So if I don't want to actually go in there and click open on an email to actually mark it as read, I can have an AI agent mark this as read for me. So if I come in here, operation, mark as read, message ID, we're then going to go define. So in the same way from our calendars, what's going to happen is, say, for example, in my email, if I open it up again, if I've got no interest in clicking on these flipper emails, but I don't want them just as unread in my email. You can see what my unread emails is like, but I don't want that number just going up and up and up. I can now have AI control that for me with emails that I don't need to read and click. So that's what you could use something like this for. So in the same way, it's going to go and grab all the emails that are currently unread that I ask it to, and then it's going to grab the IDs it needs to basically mark them as read. Now, we'll see if this works. So I've given it access to that. Let's just move that out here so we can see these separately. So this is the one here. Mark a message as read in Gmail. Let me just click save there. So what I'm going to ask it to do is, and we will check, see if it can do this. We have one flipper email. We'll have two flipper emails there, two flipper alerts there. One's from yesterday, so it might only do this one. So we have one flipper alert because one of them's red. So I've read that one here. So if I come in here now and say, could you summarize the flipper, summarize any flipper email from today only that is currently unread, and then mark email as read. So what should happen now, we will see. So it has fetched the emails first, so it's doing that correctly. It's fetching the emails. Once it's fetched the emails and hopefully found the email it's looking for there, that flipper one, there should only be one, and we will see. It may have brought more than one, maybe not. It's then going to mark it as read. Now it's done that on 5, so it might have marked all emails. So we've got, so it's pulled through multiple flipper emails here, I think. Oh, has it? Let me just see. Let me go back here. So this is the one here. Now, it isn't currently unread, but I think if I refresh my inbox here, it's going to be, so you can see, refresh, it's gone red. So it's definitely done what I've asked it to do. And then it's summarized the flipper email. Now, it's hard to see. Let's see if I can bring this up. There we go. Yeah, so it has summarized the flipper email, subject line. I think it might have summarized all the flipper emails here rather than just the one today, but it has read the one today. So it's definitely done what I've asked it to on there. And with that particular, probably just need to work a little bit on the prompts, maybe when it comes to reading or summarizing emails. That's one thing I do want to just touch on really quickly. So when it comes to the prompt for our AI agent, this system message is like the most powerful thing you've got. And this will change depending on you and what you use this PA for. So if you want your PA to find very specific emails for you, and when it finds, so I could put a note in here. I won't do it now because we're going to run on a little bit too long, but I'll explain how I would do it. If I, on those Flipper emails, if I wanted it to look for something in those Flipper emails in particular, and then and deliver that back to me. In fact, let's try this out. So let's try this out. Gmail. So actually, we'll go with Flipper emails. We'll go specific. So if I ask you to do anything with the Flipper emails, I want you, in fact, if I ask you to retrieve information from Flipper emails, I want you to find links. I want you to provide me with well-formatted listing summarization. I'm not sure how to do this on the fly, but if I ask you to retrieve information from Flipper emails, I want you to provide me with well-formatted listing summarization, outputs, and also, where possible, link me to the actual listings I may want to see. I also have no interest in Amazon related businesses, so do not share those opportunities with me. I can probably write this out way better if I had a bit of time and I wasn't on a stream, but I'm just basically giving it a prompt on the Flipper stuff. So let me just save that and see how much different this changes now. So if I say, can you check out any Flipper emails I have received today, and just let me know if there are any UK-based e-commerce businesses I may want to check out. Let's just see what it does. But I think now what it'll do, because I've improved the prompt around that specific email, it's going to give me a much better summarization than what I just got, because the summarization I just got wouldn't probably be that beneficial to me. So let's see what it can do. It has retrieved some stuff. Let's go. And this looks much better. I found several Flipper emails regarding UK-based e-commerce businesses for you to check out. Here's the potential listings. So it's, yeah, that's way better. So it's basically given me 3 potential e-com listings that are UK-based. 1 year old. Subject. So this is interesting because it has found another one there as well, but it's subject mentioned in German. So maybe that isn't a no. Would you like me to provide a more detailed summary of each listing or a link to the listings where you can view more? Yes, for, let's see if it can do this. Yes, for Orin Lab. And this is actually not going to work. And I'll explain why. Yeah, this is not going to work. And it's going to lead me on to the next thing I want to show you as part of this. So it has come back and asked, do you want me to provide any other detailed summary of each of the listings? Now, I've gone straight back in here. And this, within your own AI personal assistant, you may have other questions or you may want to go a bit deeper, just like I've got here. Could you please, and I've gone, yes, for Orin Lab. So I've said, yeah, I want to hear about this one here. And then it's gone, could you please provide me more detail about what you would like me to do with Orin Lab? For example, do you want me to create a calendar event, retrieve emails, or something else? Please specify. What's happened here is we've reset the conversation because our AI model right now that we're using, so this agent has no memory from message to message currently, but I'll show you how to set this up. So right now, every single message we send in here is like it's receiving the first ever message it's ever received from us. So to actually make that have a little bit more context in relation to individual conversations, we've got to give it a memory. Again, if this was a person, giving it intelligence is here, we've then got to give it a memory so it can remember what you're actually talking about. Now, this can also help, and I was going to demo it before, but I forgot, is if you then go change your calendar event for me and you get the time or the title wrong, or it doesn't quite know which event you're talking about, it will come back and ask you a question. Can you clarify which event it is? And then the memory's gone. And then when you go and clarify the event, it's like, well, it's as if you're speaking to it for the first time. It's like it's got amnesia. So we now need to give it memory. And this is so easy to do. So in the memory point here that comes off our agent, you click on this plus sign. And then we click on, you can go really deep with this, but this is advanced. We're just going to go simple memory. So this stores in the n8n memory. So no credentials are required. Now, the only thing you need for this to work is you need a session key. So it needs to know what session this particular chat is. It needs a key to base it on. So in this case, if I'm chatting to this, this AI agent using this chat message here, this has a session ID. So what this memory is doing, open the wrong one. What this memory is doing, it's taking the session ID in here. So it knows, which you can see here, it knows which session we're in. So it remembers, and you can give it context window length, how many past interactions the model receives as context. So it'll go back on the same session ID. So that one chat I have down here, all of this, because I've not reset the chat, will be one session ID. Okay. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm now going to go simple memory. I'm going to change the context window length to 10. That's usually enough for what we're doing here. And then I'm going to save it. Now our AI agent has memory. Now what I'm going to do, let me see if I can, let me reset. So we've got a brand new session. Let me see if I can get it to do the same thing. Could you summarize UK e-commerce, e-com opportunities inside of Flipper emails for the past 2 days, and tell me if there are any I should look at. Let's see if I can replicate what we've just done. So we've now opened another chat message. This time there's a session ID. This time we have got memory involved. So we will see what happens now. So what we're going to get is we're going to get the same thing. It's coming back now to basically tell us what we've got. So hopefully it pulls up the same opportunities. Just give it a few more minutes to do that. There we go. So yeah, so here are the UK e-commerce opportunities inside Flipper emails from the past 2 days. So it's giving me them. And then at the end, would you like me to provide more detailed summaries or links to these listings for further review? Now, again, we have OrinLab is back here. So let's just copy that. Yes, for OrinLab, please. So now it should remember and have memory, and we will see. It might have just errored out. Let me just check what has happened there. Just a minute. Let's see if it comes back first. We've got a marker. Oh, yeah, because it's not using that. So, yeah, it should have worked. There you go. The listing OrinLab is a burgeoning e-commerce enterprise launched in 2024 that's made a significant. So it's giving me more details on that. Unfortunately, the detailed content of the email related to this listing could not be accessed directly because it will be a link. But it's now, as you can see, it now does have memory. So it knows what I'm asking for based off of the previous message. And that's what this simple memory has just done there. So that's a great example of how that can work. So we've now got an AI agent that can access all of our calendar stuff. And it can also access our emails and create actions within emails. Now, there was one other element that I was going to show you, but I am conscious of time, you can actually have it add email labels. And in fact, I will show you how to do this because it is part of that initial AI assistant. So let me pull these two down here. And then I'm going to add one more on here, one more Gmail. So on this one now, and again, you can play around with this yourself and give it access to do way more, is I'm going to give it the ability to add a label to my email. So you might already do this within your Gmail account. But if you set up labels, so if I open my email again here, check emails, I can have a label here. So I could say to my AI assistant, I could say, look, I want you to basically label emails you think I should look at and label them check emails every, in the morning. I could come on at 9 a.m. and go, hey, how's it going? Good morning. Can you go and retrieve all my emails for today? And could you mark or label the emails you think I need to take a look at right now with the check email label that I've set up? What it will then do is scan all my emails. It's going to forget all the spammy emails in my inbox or anything that's just not priority. It's going to then label up my priority emails so I can just come in my email in the morning, and rather than me click on all of these and try and scan through, I can just go straight to my labels here, and I'm going to have my labels in here. So I'm going to delete all these. Just let me delete that so we can go from scratch here. So if I come in here and then we go to add check email label, am I in the right workflow here? No, I'm not. This was the correct one. I went back to my original one here. So we come through to this one here. So when we add that node in here, where we've got it now, and now we can basically say we've got our Gmail account. I want to add a label, message ID. Again, we want the AI agent to define that. And then there's a label name. So this is going to be check emails. So there it is, check emails. So I've already set this label up. And then I'm going to go save. And now I should be able to say, could you check my emails? Could you check my email from today and add the label check email to any emails that are high priority in your opinion? Let's go with that. And then what's going to happen now is it's going to now go into my email and it's going to hopefully add a label to any emails it feels that I should read. So we will see what it comes back with. Just give it a few moments here. So I've added the label check email to the following high priorities. There is a few in here. Again, we've got our reminder there. There was an error trying to label one of the emails. It was not found. So I might have deleted it or the ID. I'm not sure there. But let me go back here and go and check emails. No. Oh, there we go. Added the 4 emails it said I should take a look at. Now, I probably need to improve this because I probably wouldn't want to check maybe 3 of these as high priority because these are just newsletters. That one for sure is a high priority. So at least it's pulled that one out. But what I would need to do here now is go back into the prompt, that system prompt. And basically, I'd want to go in and go, when you're adding the check email label, these are the things I want to see. So I can actually specify the types of emails, not necessarily the emails, but the types of emails I want to see it pick out as high priority. So it learns more from what I'm looking for. But what we've got here, guys, is we've now got an AI assistant that works from our chat here. And we can basically chat to it whenever we want to get book, delete, update, any of our calendar meetings, but also as well, start to help us manage our emails, get us information from emails without us having to click and open emails or go through the hundreds of emails you probably, like me, get every single day as well. So I hope that has been really, really insightful. What I'm now going to do is I'm just going to finish this off and I'm basically going to connect Slack. So as I mentioned at the beginning, if we've got a chat message, so we've tested all this, we've got it all working with the n8n chat in here. But if I'm going to manage, if this is going to be an AI assistant I'm going to use in my business or in my personal life, I don't want to be signed into n8n to have to use it. I want to use it in a tool that I use every day. In my case, Slack. I want it in here. I want to be able to chat to it in here like I showed you before, not like I say, inside of n8n. And you might use Discord, you might use WhatsApp, you might use Telegram. I don't know what chat apps or what you use to manage your business, but you want to have your assistant in there with you, don't you? So I'm going to show you how we go about doing that. There's 2 steps you've got to take for this to work. And it will be slightly different from a setup point of view from all the different apps out there. So I can't show you all of them. I'm just going to show you Slack. But as I showed you before, the n8n docs are that good. You can figure out everything from there. So I'm just going to move this one out of the way. We're now going to connect a new trigger. So what I want to do is click on this plus sign over here. I'm going to add another trigger, and then I am going to search for Slack. Okay, so we've now got Slack, and then we need a trigger. So Slack can do loads of stuff in here in n8n, or n8n can do loads within Slack. But triggers, it can trigger on any of them. It can trigger on mentioning a bot or an app. So as I've got here, the AI assistant, if I type @AI assistant, that's what it means there. That's mentioning the bot. It can, do stuff for files, on new public channel, all that. We're focusing on this, on a new message posted to a channel. So anytime I if I message inside this AI assistant channel, I want this to trigger because I'm talking to my AI agent. That's what this means. So you click on that one there, and it's going to give you a new node, which is here. So this is now going to connect in. So you can drag it in. So it's going to connect into our AI assistant. Now, this is all red and scary because we've got to connect this and we've got to configure this. And this does take a little bit more time than all of these that we've done before. And again, depending on what you connect here, and I will show you this, if you click open, add another trigger, and you type Discord there, you can connect your Discord. If you type Telegram, you can connect Telegram. So again, you can connect whatever you want in there. Why is that popped up? I think I just did a keyboard shortcut without meaning to. So we are going to trigger from Slack though. That's what I use, and that's what I'm going to demo on here. So when I open this up, we get this. Now I have already created a credential within Slack to use. Now, for you to be able to use n8n in Slack as a trigger, you need to create an app in Slack. And that's what this is. So my AI assistant here is an app. I've created this app. Now, these are all free to create. I don't pay for this Slack. So they're all free to create. And again, that's how it works within Slack. But this is better because you can create multiple assistants and you can create multiple apps in here to chat to. So I've got this one here, and that's what this one is here. You won't have this. You'll need to create a new credential. So we go back to this screen here and go back and say, the same as we did with the other credentials, we've got to configure this first. This will take you a bit more time than the other ones. But again, if you open the docs, we have a full list of how to do this. So you will need to go through and follow this step by step until you can get this access token. Once you get this access token, you can connect it within n8n. Now, the docs will explain everything, but I am just going to show you a couple of things because basically what you've got to do is you've got to open Slack API apps. So when you click on this, it's going to open up. It won't open up that page, not yet, but I will show you that one in a sec. So you're going to click on that. It's going to then open up your apps. So you can see I've got 2 apps in my Slack here. So that's what this link's going to do here. It's then going to walk you through what to do. So you then need to go and create an app. So you create new app. I'm not going to do it now on screen and go through all of these steps. Now, there are 2 things I do want to show you as part of this setup for this to work as I'm showing you here with our personal assistant. So the first thing is the OAuth and permissions, these scopes. You need to give your app scopes. Now, n8n are not going to tell you which scopes to give your app because again, you will need different scopes to do different things. They're not here to do that. They're just here to show you how to connect it to n8n. The scopes are down to you as the user. So in my Slack here, for my AI assistant, I'm going to show you the scopes I'm using. So down on the left-hand side here, you go to OAuth and permissions. Click on that. It's going to bring you through here. And then you're going to go down to bot token scopes. I've given it a ton of scopes here. So you've got app mentions, channels join, channels read, chat write, emoji read, files write. I'm not doing anything with files or even emojis, but I've added them in here anyway, so I can further build this out if I want to. Groups history, groups read, incoming webhook, links read, users profile read, users read. Again, I'm not doing anything with lots of these scopes just yet within my Slack, but I've added it in there just so I know in future if I want to have my AI assistant do even more, I can do that easily with here. So those are all the scopes I've given it. Once you've given it all the scopes, it will ask you to install the app on your Slack. So go ahead and do that. Install it on your Slack. You're then going to need to do one other thing for this to work. You're going to need to go over to event subscriptions. So if I go back to credentials, so you go through all of this, and as it explains here, you add the install to workspace. So you install the app to the workspace. So we're kind of here right now. and then you're going to get the OAuth token, and you're going to enter that inside of your access token here and save. That's what you're going to do. Then it's connected, but it's still not going to work. And I'm going to show you why. So inside of here, and if I go back to the docs first, Slack trigger configuration, you need to do this step. So to use your Slack app with the Slack trigger node, because that's what we're doing, it's a trigger, you have to enable an event subscription. And you have to basically add a webhook URL to your app. So how we do this, and I will show you how to do this now because this won't work for me. So even though I've got my Slack AI assistant bot configured here, and then I've got new messages posted to channel. Let me create a new channel for this so you can see this from scratch. So if I just create a new channel here in my Slack, so AI assistant build. So this is a fresh channel. Let's keep it private. And again, I'll show you what you need to do. So I'm going to skip that. Your assistant's not going to have access to the channel, especially if it's a private one. So once your assistant is in here, so you've added it to Slack, you do need to do this first. So I'm just going to go at AI assistant, and I'm going to just do that. And then it's going to ask me add them. So you add them. So now the AI assistant's in this channel, AI assistant build. So if I go back here, I want to trigger on a new message posted to my AI assistant channel build. So if I then now choose the channel, there's my AI assistant build. I'm going to choose that. The next tip I'm going to show you is you need to do one other thing. We also need to have usernames or IDs to ignore. Now, the reason you do this is because once your AI assistant responds to you in this channel, it then starts to read its own responses and actually start replying to itself. So you need to click on usernames or ID to ignore and just make sure you choose your app like I've done there, okay? And that will stop it replying to itself. That's really important. Most miss that and think, wow, why is it doing this? It's all broken, but it's not. It's just you need to add that there. So we've now configured it. So I'm going to click save. We've got a Slack trigger here. The next thing you're going to need to do is on the output, okay? And I know I've gone ahead a little bit here. In fact, no, I won't do the output just yet. Let me go on to webhooks. So I know I mentioned webhooks before, which was the event subscriptions. You need to do something here. This won't work. So if I type into my channel now, this is not going to work. And it won't because I've not added the webhook. So up here, you see webhooks and you click that. You've got a test and a production. You need to, if you're in test and I'm in a test mode here, it's inactive, which means it's in test mode. You would use test. But you might as well switch this to active and go production on it. So I can't because I've got an issue in there for some reason. That should have fixed it. Has it? What's the issue in here? So it's not letting me. No, that should work. I can't see any issues there. Let me refresh and see if that fixes that little red. Yeah, there we go. That should fix it now. So I should be able to go active. Yeah, there we go. So this is now in production. So my Slack trigger, I want to get the webhook that is production. So I need to copy this and then URL copied. I then need to go to my AI assistant event subscriptions, and then I need to change this. So I'm going to change it to my new webhook, verifying, verified. The other thing you need to do as well, click open on bot events, add these two bot events. At mentions message groups. Because that is basically a message was posted to a private channel. If you don't add that, and again, many miss this, it doesn't work. You don't get the messages. So you just need to add those two to bot events. So that's all done. That will work. Now, the only thing is that's all set up. That's configured. We are done. Good to go. Now, the problem is if I send a message to my AI assistant right now, it has no way of messaging me back because this is a Slack trigger. It can't message the Slack trigger back. We need to give it an output. That's what this is here. What's the output? So all we need to do here is click on this and click on Slack again. And then we are going to have an action. And the action is going to be, should be send a message. There it is. Send a message. So we are going to send a message. We're going to collect Slack AI assistant bot, make sure the credentials are the same. we're going to send a message to a channel, and that channel is going to be our AI assistant build. And that's it. Now, currently, it will send nothing here. We have to give it an input. And the input we need to give it is this. So it is JSON.output. That is what we need to type into this message text here. So you can see it there, JSON.output. And then I'm going to go back and click save. Okay. Now, this is live. This should work. So we will see. We will see. Hello there. Let's see if this works. So give it a moment. And has that worked? Has it not? It doesn't look like that's worked. So let's go back and troubleshoot it. I just want to double check. No, that hasn't. For some reason that hasn't, but I don't know why. And let me check. So this is actually a good thing to happen because I can now show you how or why this might not have worked. I'm just trying to think, is there an issue there in the memory actually? Maybe. I think that's what it'll be. But I'm going to show you this and how to troubleshoot this. So let's say you've tested something like I've just done then, it hasn't worked. What do you do? Because you can't even see. Well, you can, because execution's up at the top. If you click that, it's going to show you every execution. So it's now showing me, maybe it's because it wasn't saved. Maybe that was the issue. I'm not sure. Let me just refresh this just to double check. I think I've got everything I need to, because I've got it configured on another thing. Let me go again. Hello. Let's see if that now works, because that should have worked. Doesn't look like that's worked either. It's not come straight through. So yeah, now hopefully we've got an error in here. No, it's not. For some reason, it isn't even triggering it for some reason. What am I missing here? I am live, so I might actually be missing something really obvious right now. And I might have you screaming at the screen saying, that's the problem, that's the issue. Let me quickly see if I can troubleshoot this. Yeah, I've got the production URLs there. I've got it in production. Let me just double check. Let me just double check that we got this correct. Which we should, yes. Oh, there, that was the issue. It's like the most stupidest issue. I haven't clicked save on, on the actual webhook. Right, so let's just click save here again. This should work now. I just forgot to click save. Hello. So we should get a response. And we haven't for some reason. So maybe it wasn't that. But if I go to executions, right, now we're actually seeing the execution. So this is the error that's just happened. So if I click on it now, I'll figure out, yeah, so it was what I thought it was initially. So simple memory has errored. Now, the reason this is errored in this case is because we have it connected to the chat trigger node. Because I'm now using Slack, this session ID is not available because I'm not chatting via this chat anymore. So I'm not sending it in via that. It's getting an input from this particular node. So it's now thinking, well, that's different. I don't know what I'm looking for there. So you do need to come in and change this when you connect Discord or Slack. And all you need to do is define it. So basically what you need to put in here. Now, the way you can figure this out, if you're using Discord or Telegram, it's going to be different than what I'm going to use here, but you can probably get the relevant thing. So if I go to executions and I go to that errored one, I can see that this has actually worked though. So this did work. So if I click on that, I can see that message come through. So as you can see here, here's the message. That's the hello. So it has picked up this. That's basically come through. I can see it in the output here. Now we've got to select something from here that is a constant, it's sort of like a key. So we had a session ID. So going back to the to this chat message here, when I was chatting via the chat at the bottom, it has a chat message. It has a session ID for that chat message you're in. We've just got to get one from Slack and then enter that one in here. Now, the one you use from Slack, or the one I tend to use for things like this, is just where is it? It's the channel ID. So it's that one there. So the channel ID. So channel. So to get that, all we do is we go back to editor, we open up our memory, and now we're going to define this below, and then we're just going to put in, it's an expression, and then it is JSON dot channel, and that is it. JSON dot channel. That's correct. And we're going to save that. And now it has memory. So it connects this memory now. So those 10 messages it's connecting to a memory, it's going to use the channel ID for that just to connect it. So now this should work. Might take a few seconds, but it should work unless I've missed something or not saved it or it hasn't worked. So let's go back to executions. It has errored again, but this is good for troubleshooting. So for some reason that's not worked. Only has one key as the output. So it's picking up multiple keys there maybe for some reason. That usually works for me though. Instead of that one then, let's change that up. In fact, rather than me troubleshoot the memory on here, let me just deactivate the memory. I want to just show you that this works from Slack. So now if I type hello, it's not going to call the memory. It should just work without me. There we go. Hello, how can I assist you with your calendar or emails today? So I've taken the memory off for a minute just to test this is working, but I can now chat to my assistant in here. Now there is one other thing here, automated with this n8n workflow. You can turn that off. You've got to open up that output where it's actually typing the message. You need to go to add option, include link to workflow, and you need to turn that off. So include link to workflow, turn it off, click save. I can go back over to Slack. How are you today? And then it will now respond to me, but without this part at the bottom. There you go. Hello, how can I assist you with your calendar or emails today? It is ready to go. Could you add a meeting in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for me to meet with Anna? Let's go with that. Okay, it should have worked there. So let me just see. For some reason, it's coming back with that output. And I think it's probably the way I've connected that memory. But where's my calendar at? There it is. No, it hasn't added that. So going back here, let me just check here. We've got JSON.output. I've got AI assistant. I know why it is. We don't have a prompt user message in here. Again, it is an easy thing to forget because I'm on a live stream. But I do need to put an input, and the input is from Slack now. It's not from that connected chat node. So it's actually not getting any input. It's not getting a prompt. So I am just going to add this. So it is that JSON dot text. Okay. And just to show you how I know that, if I go onto executions and I go into succeeded, you can, anything that's got a tick on it, a green tick, means it's run. So you can see what its input and output was. So if I can go to the AI assistant now, our agent, I can see these are our inputs. So the input we've got when chat message is received, it has access to two inputs, which are these. So that's what we can see here. So there's nothing there because we're not chatting inside n8n anymore. But if I open the Slack trigger, it's getting my input. So it got my input there. Look, could you add a meeting in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for me to meet with Anna? The problem is, it couldn't see that message. It can't see the message because there's no prompt in here. It's empty. So as you can see, that is text. It's called text. That label is text. And that's what JSON.text is. It's going to take that value and it's going to add it into that user message dynamically every single time. And it's hard to show you when you use this a little bit and you build this out, you'll understand the inputs and outputs. And it's kind of a bad example to show you as well of how these inputs work dynamically because of the way I've connected Slack. But that's basically, if you change to that JSON.text, you can see it. Now, if you have connected Discord or Telegram or anything else, again, go into your execution, just look for one that's got this tick, and you can look to see which one of these labels has your message. So I can see it's that one. All of this other data I don't need to give to the AI agent. I just need to give it this. So again, inside of here, and I've already done it, go back to editor. I'm in the execution tab, but go back to editor. And inside here now, I can put JSON.text. So that's where that is. And now it will have, it should work. So where is it? I'm just going to copy and paste this. Let's now see if we can get it to schedule this meeting from Slack. And this should work. This should work now. There we go. I have added the meeting with Anna tomorrow at 7 till 8 p.m. If you need to add more details or invite her by email, please let me know. There we go, guys. Let me have a look. Boom. We have done it. We have connected Slack. Finally. Apologies for that taking a little bit too long, or longer than I thought it would, just because I can't click save apparently. And also had an issue there with the memory. But again, the memory stuff's really easy to do. You just need to hook up a different key within Slack. The channel usually does work, so I'm not sure why that hasn't worked there. Let me just deactivate that and just try it one more time, because that usually does work. Let's see. But maybe I need to connect that to the user ID instead. Yeah, so it's errored out, I think, on that memory again. Oh, no, it hasn't. It hasn't. I was rushing. Could you add a meeting for me today at 9 p.m. with Jamie for 20 minutes? Let's go with that. Just give it a few moments. Boom, 9 p.m. meeting with Jamie. And is it there today? Yes, boom, we're there. We've done it. And again, I have connected that memory now, guys. So I was right. It is the channel ID. It might have just been the fact I was maybe not saving it or refreshing, whatever. It was causing that to error out. But I have the channel ID in there, as you can see here. And that's what works as that memory. But that is our build. We've built the thing. I hope that has been really, really valuable for everyone that's watched, who's joined me live. But also, if you've watched been all the way through this recording, I really appreciate that. Again, if you are part of our community, which is Beta State, again, come into our community. If you've got questions about this workflow or this video, ask them in here. I'm in here with my my business partner, David, and we've got a bunch of people in here as well, all wanting to learn about using AI and sharing some really cool AI stuff as well. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to download this workflow. I'm going to add this workflow in here into the workflow drop section. So you can just download it in full and upload it into your account, and then you configure all the credentials and it should work. But again, guys, I hope you've really enjoyed this. I hope you've got value out of this. In the last hour and a half, a bit longer than 60 minutes, but generally got held up on saving a few things here and there. You can build an AI assistant to manage your calendar, manage your emails in less than 60 minutes. And I've shown you how on this live stream here. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Also hit like on this video. Enter comments if you've got questions on YouTube. But come and join our community as well. You'll see links below this video to this. But thank you for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you in a future live event inside this community or on a future YouTube video as well. Thank you for tuning in today, guys, and I'll speak to you inside this community.